Previously on the Frontier Farmer, and we are naming him Artemus. I have switched up the open garden to grow soybeans, and we are going to be getting a seed drill. And here it is. That is the drill, all filled with seed and fertilizer. That's the field drilled with oats, field number 2 in this section. So I'm going to zip round the areas that we want to turn into our field. Got the windrower. And there it is, bunker silo. Collect up. So let's blanket that. This section here is going to be turned into a field next time. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Frontier Farmer at the Dark Forest. Been starting off this morning by peeling a few spuddies to make some chips later on, and I think I'm going to give some to Artemus so he remains nice and fed. Let's go see what he's up to. There we go, here's your little chopped up spuddies. Ah, Artemus. He's running around like a crazy being. He loves his food. So, since last time, I did roll the oats to make sure that they were properly embedded, and they have successfully germinated. And yes, since then, they have sprouted up, which is fantastic. So yeah, these oats are looking pretty healthy so far. We'll have to keep a close eye on them and make sure they are all good until harvest time, which will be around June or July. The area which we cleared is now ready for us to create our second field, and all the grass from that is fermenting in the silage bunker in the corner. And yeah, that's going to be needing to be checked on later on. But for now, we need to jump in the farmall and get the old plough. It really is nice working in the dark forest in these spring mornings when it's nice and bright. We need to head over to the shed. I think the bucket is in the way, but the stone bucket we will need later on to clear the stones once we've ploughed it. But for now, let's pick up the plough so we can get to creating our second field. There we go, we've got the plough. So let's head on over to where our second field is going to be. And I'm thinking for the future, of course at the moment we've only got small fields, but when we've got some bigger spaces to clear, we of course will need to upgrade our plough so we can do it faster and a bigger area, and we will probably need to upgrade to get another tractor as well, one that's bigger and beefier. Alright, so let's settle in over here. I want to try and utilise this space as much as possible, but we will allow create fields and drop our plough away, and the stones have emerged of course, so we will have to clear those with the bucket. But it will be the full works for this field today. We'll need to plough it, stone pick it, then we will lime it, and I think we're going to get a different lime spreader, one that's got a bigger capacity. We'll need to cultivate it, drill our sorghum, as we want to get that in nice and early, so it can harvest earlier, and then we will need to roll it to finish up. So I'm going to get busy ploughing this first of all, going around the border clockwise, and I will see you when we're all finished. raised up after the last little row, and that is our second field all completed, and yeah, nicely ploughed. I did try to straighten it up as best I could from either end because it's not a even square field, but yeah, not too shabby. And we've got quite a lot of stones to clear, so I'll have to go and drop the plough off and grab the stone bucket so we can set to work yet again. Lower that down and set that aside, and then we'll grab the bucket, and like we did last time, we're going to have to do a little reverse trick with collecting all of the stones, and that was quite fun and entertaining last time. But let's get set in the field and see if we can get it all pitched up and set correctly. Now I can see Barkamus is running around in the oats. Hopefully he's chasing all of the pests out of there. Alright, so if we get into starting position, and we should be able to just lower this down to a position where we're not lifting up the tractor, but we are able to scoop the stones successfully. That seems to be right, but I think we look like we're tipping them out a little bit, so we pitch it up a bit more, and just a little bit more. There we go, I think that's got that right. It's a bit of a delicate balance to make sure you've got it pitched correctly, so it's not depositing the stones back down where you've put them, but it is pitched down far enough that it can pick up the stones. And we're changing the ploughed texture to one that has been stone picked, and then after we've picked up all these stones, we can come along and lime spread, and then we can cultivate and then get our sorghum in. So once again, I'll be working my way around here clockwise and then rows, and if we have a full bucket, we'll deposit that probably somewhere near the back of the silage bunker, just so it's out of the way. Might use it to make yet another gravel area until we can do something with the stones. I do plan to get a stone crusher so we can make lime out of them, but yeah, that's all money which we don't have quite yet. So I'm going to get busy and stuck into this, and I'll see you when we're all done. And there we go, the last stones plucked up, and that is our field all nicely stone picked. So we can pitch the bucket back up now, and it's much heavier than when we first started, but we'll back that up and deposit these stones somewhere behind the silage bunker. Now I didn't have to drive over every square inch of the field, I only needed to cover the areas that had stones, so we've got a mixture of stone picked texture and ploughed texture, but not to worry because we're going to come and lime and cultivate that, so it'll be all nice and ready for us to drill. There we go. So we'll leave them there, and we potentially might use them to make a little gravel track when we next need to. But for now, let's get the stone bucket dropped off, and the lime spreader is what we need, but we're actually going to be taking that to the distribution centre so we can get that sold and purchase a newer, bigger and better one. We can drop the bucket back off in here, and I'm going to have to move a few bits to get our lime spreader out of the shed. We can leave the seed drill there because we will be needing that later for our sorghum. And of course we're going to be drilling sorghum because we want to use it for chicken feed. So once that's harvested we can see about getting some chickens. Right, the big bags are in the way, so I'm probably going to need to call in the wheel loader to come and lift those two out of the way. Here's the Volvo, and it did a fantastic job crushing down our grass to compact it to cover and turn into silage in that bunker. But it has got the big bag lifter on it, so we can use it to move them out of the way. There we go, that's those two picked up. And we are going to need some sort of seed and fertilizer storage that's proper. Don't want to be keeping the big bags out and about too often. And I'll probably just drop these over here because we will need to feed up the seed drill with them later on. I am going to get the flatbed out of here because I think it will be the best to take the wheel loader and the flatbed to the distribution centre to pick up our new lime spreader and also to get some more lime so we've got good stocks of it. I will need to drop off this seed and fertiliser that we have here as well. Right, we'll pick up the lime spreader and look to empty it as we want to make sure we don't take it back with lime in it. It seems to have spawned the big bag over on that side of the shed, but that's okay. And we will drop it off here so we can probably lift it up with the wheel loader onto the flatbed. And hopefully this big bag lifter will be able to tip it over entirely, but strap up to the spreader and we can get that on the flatbed and strapped on. There we go. So we can attach the flatbed and strap on the spreader and get that back to the distribution centre. Made it to the distribution centre, so let's get this sold and we can also purchase a new spreader and some lime. We can sell this for $1,016. And the spreader we're going to go for is the Lizard FS60-2 and it can take 950 litres of lime or fertiliser. It has a range of 28 meters spreading width and it needs 70 horsepower to run it, which we can do, so let's buy that. And I think we'll get 4 bags of lime for $1,400 as well. So here is our new equipment and also our big bags of lime. Right, that's the lime loaded, and now we can load up this new spreader. There we go, that's nicely loaded. This big bag lifter is very versatile in what it can help you load. It can do pallets, obviously the big bags, and then pieces of equipment. I do like it when we get new equipment, and our new spreader is a nice rusty red colour, which kind of matches our trailer, and also isn't too far off from our red theme with the farm wall. And we are back. So we can do a quick unload and get everything sorted for spreading lime on our new field. I've got 2 big bags unloaded. I might as well try and see if I can unload. There we go, it can get the lime into the spreader. And drop those there for the time being. And we can set that down there. And I will probably pick up these lime bags again so we can put the wheel loader over somewhere like here and use it as a little refill station if we do run out of lime, but yeah, I'm hoping we're not going to be consuming too much. Back in the farm wall and we can grab our new lime spreader, and our lime spreader can of course spread fertiliser as well, which is good. Hitched on, and thankfully the farm wall can take the weight. Did worry that this was going to be a bit too heavy for the farm wall and the small weights that we've got on the front, but it seems to be managing it okay. So I think thanks to this spreader it's going to be a very quick job to do, but we need to unfold and we can fire it on. There we go, it's got a much bigger range, which is fantastic. So yeah, this is going to take no time at all. In fact, it's probably going to take 2 passes and we've completely cleared out the lime already. So good thing I left those big bags out and about. Quick refill if you'd be so kind. And I think I'm going to get a running start here because I cannot believe how quickly we chew through the lime. You can see it absolutely tearing through, and I don't want to be unloading again, so we'll just spin around, make sure we've got everything covered, and turn off again. And I think by eye that is everything covered. Maybe a tiny bit in that corner, far right corner. There we go, we can give this little sprinkle. Fantastic. So I wouldn't really want to be working in any big fields with this spreader. The rate that it goes through lime, and I don't know if this is just because we've got brand new fields that need quite a large volume of lime, but yeah, just seems to chew through it at a massive rate, and we'd just be constantly refilling if we had a big field. But it has got a good range on it, so that is one bonus. Right, we don't want to be loading any more up. We will unload this 184 litres that we've got somewhere around the corner. There we go. We've added it into the big bag that was around here. But well, we can get this new spreader dropped off in here, and then we can get on to cultivating. Alright, dropped off that lime there, and I am going to preempt needing to fill up the seed drill with seed and fertilizer, so we'll grab some of these big bags from here and do that before we cultivate. Fantastic. Right, once again we will leave that somewhere over here in case we need to fill up the seed drill, but I doubt we will need to. Grab the cultivator, which is one of our wider implements, so not going to be too long a job. And it's probably worth saying that this area to the right, which we also cleared, is just going to be saved for some yard, shed, and maybe some placeable space. As mentioned, we do want to get some sort of seed, lime and fertilizer storage, so we'll be looking to utilise that. But we need to get this field cultivated. We'll get that lime all turned in, and then this is going to be the perfect condition texture for us to drill our sorghum. Now on the first field I did cultivate and then roll to make seed bed, but this time I'm not going to bother because we will need to roll after we drill to make sure that the seeds are all compressed into the ground. So I don't really see that there's much benefit of rolling before drilling. The seed bed doesn't really do anything from what I've noticed, so yeah, we're not going to roll beforehand, we're just going to roll afterwards. But I'm going to get this all cultivated in and see you when we're done. Go, just a couple of little tiny spots to tidy up, and that was quite a quick job. So let's crack on and grab the seed drill, switch to sorghum, and then we can get that all nicely drilled as well. Got the seed drill, so let's head on in and get to drilling. the sorghum all drilled. Now we didn't use much seed or fertiliser at all, and of course again we've got the little patches of where it's been able to double fertilise, but it's only single fertilised the rest of the field. So at some point I think we are going to have to come along and secondary fertiliser our oats and our sorghum when the time is right. So before we park the seed drill away, it will need to get the roller. That is the last job of the day, just to get our sorghum nicely compacted into the seed bed. There we go, we've got our oats in field 1 and our sorghum in field 2, and they are both growing. The oats are a bit further along than the sorghum, of course, and in terms of soil composition they now need rolling, but yeah, they've got everything else they need, and no weeds have appeared yet in field number 1 with the oats, so that's good. I think the ploughing has probably prevented the weeds, but we will keep an eye out in case we do need to clear them. But for now, let's get our last job of the day covered off, which is rolling our sorghum in so it's all good to germinate. Hey, that's how we roll, quite literally. That's everything all compacted in quite nicely, and we should be set to germinate our sorghum quite nicely. Oh, there's a lovely little deer there inspecting our silage bunker, and I think I've scared it off because we need to do the same. Okay, 92% fermented, so we will definitely get that completed fermentation by today. But I'm really not sure what to do with our silage that we create. We can sell it, we can keep it for when we've got some animals, or there might be something quite interesting to use the silage for on some of the older style productions. If you've got any ideas, then please let me know. But for now, let's get the roller parked up and dropped off. Seed drill 2. And that's a general tidy up of our big bags and parking up the Volvo. Fantastic. So that is it for today. It's been a busy one. We got our second field created by ploughing. We picked up all the stones. We limed it using our new lime spreader and cultivated, and then drilled our sorghum and rolled it in quite nicely to get it compacted. So we should hopefully see that germinate and start to grow by next time. But that is it, so I hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. And all that's left to say is, hope to see you again next time on The Frontier Farmer. And until then, I will catch you later. Cheers all, and bye bye.